These have been great. We've had some fabulous conversations on here. Every week I look forward to finding out what's gonna come out of my mouth. Last week we had a guest on that was wonderful. I very much enjoyed having Zoe on with us. It was a really nice conversation. And hopefully we'll have him on again to talk about some of the work that he does. But yeah, what are we going to talk about this week? If you have a question or something that you'd like to know about, feel free to type in a message or call in. We'd love to have you on.
Yeah, I was saying, like, preparing for the call, like, we always find something to talk about, but we love it even more when somebody has a question or wants to get in on a conversation. So if you're just kind of toying with an idea and maybe want or a question or a decision and want a separate second, third opinion, insight, whatever, we're here. And
that's what
thank you. That is the better word. And or just if you want a mini reading, that's been fun to witness that, and then to have the confirmations after that was, I mean, of course, spirit, angels, guides definitely know what they're talking about. So
I'm going to say a quick hello to Angelica and Scarlett, who are very excited that we're on and are joining us today. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
If you have a question for us, please feel free to type it in the comments or give us a call.
We are here.
You had a question, Stephanie. What was your question?
I did. Okay, so we talk a lot about human design in here. Really
one of my favorites.
Yeah. And this aha hit me. So there's this new, I'm always into new projects. There's this new project that's percolating. Pieces are all coming together. And as I was thinking about the people that are involved in it, I realized that, so I'm a generator. There's a manifester in the group. There's a projector.
Beautiful.
And then there's a reflector, you, that just in the conversation, I was talking to Christina, our friend Christina.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so like, my question.
Awesome. You've got them all.
I know.
I love it.
It was like, so like, holy cow. Wow, my question is like spirit, like I know that there's, that it's cool. And that that's the whole design of human design, is that we're all working together. But in a group setting, how does that work? And where, like, what, because to me, I'm like, that's like perfect synergy, right? You have all of these pieces come together into a project, into an experience. So what's the best way of going forward with that? Or even just like tapping into each other's gifts?
Each individual being their authentic self and coming from a place truly from their design, from their strategy and authority. And as long as each person does that, how can you go wrong?
So it's like almost feeding, because the question came up about like you as a reflector, like your whole, like a lot of the gifts that you bring is just reflecting what you're receiving from us, right? From others. Is that the basics of a reflector? And the generators are the worker bees, like the trusting our sacrals and building and creating. Manifestors,
and they're meant to respond to life. So just because somebody throws something out there, just because the manifestor in the group or the projector or anyone throws something out there, it's still your job to respond correctly if you feel it is right.
They can still move forward.
Yep.
I can still have and that was what was really cool. So this whole thing of Acceptance Project is a community of women accepting, embracing. There's this metamorphosis and all of this. And the title, the name came a few months ago, and Spirit was like, just wait. Like, because I was like, okay, well, what's next? This sounds fun. And it was like, just wait. So a month later, the next pieces were revealed. And now it's like, okay, we're building now. But the others can continue to build if I'm in a waiting pattern, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And then your poor little projector in the group, you have to remember that you have to ask them, you have to invite them, and you have to ask them for their opinion. And
so in the shadow side, though, if they will also give opinions that might not be received well.
Right. And that's like the chain. That's the difficult part for projectors, is that no matter how accurate and perfect the information is, a lot of times if it's not invited, if it's not asked for, then it's taken the wrong way.
Ah,
So that's why it's important to remember your little projector friend, because they have very wise, valuable information.
but you have to ask them
If
for
you
them.
ask them for it. Yep. They're wonderful guides.
That makes sense. And that is playing out in the projector that I'm thinking about. That, I mean, she has a wealth of knowledge. And when I've reached out, it's like I get even more than I even asked.
Yep.
Oh, I just got chills.
Yeah, me too.
And
yeah, that's great that you have, that's awesome that you have a little group with one of everything.
I know, and what was really cool, so, and from a Gene Keys perspective, my pearl, and I don't know from the astrology where the pearl actually resides to speak as far as human design versus Gene Key, but it's basically that the pearl within the shell, like that it's not anything you do, it just comes out as you're continuing to live your design, right? And so my city of my pearl is synergy, or the synarchy, that all those pieces coming together. And it's really starting to play
Sounds
out.
right.
It is. I'm like, duh.
Perfect for you.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah. I love it.
So just accepting it, and that's also my life's work of acceptance. And yeah, it's so fascinating. So that was my question. It was just really cool, like this aha of, wow, we're all attracted to each other. We're manifesting each other in our lives. Each person is in that manifesting stage, and it's just really cool to think about.
And then the manifestor in your group, remember, they may tend to change things up on you quite a bit.
Oh, because they like change, huh?
They initiate,
Okay.
and they initiate because they're manifestors, so things come up for them right away. So there's a lot of change in their lives. They might be going down one track and all of a sudden they're flipping and going to another track, and they're flipping and going to, you know what I mean? And when they don't inform, if they don't tell you they're going to flip tracks and switch it up and do something different, problems happen. That's when everyone else in the group can start to feel, you know what I mean? They feel like pushed away or shunned, or so their job is to inform and let people know. But just be aware, they bring that creative energy and they tend to like flip a lot.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that happening. It's like the shiny object, but then when they're fully engaged, they like the creators. And then,
oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing to watch them and how talented they are, and just to watch things just manifest and ideas and creations. And yeah, it's beautiful. But on the other side, it's very nice to be able to know everyone else in your group, so that you can, if they forget to inform, you kind of know, you know what I mean? You can remind yourself in the back of your mind too, oh, you know, they just forgot to tell me, and then you don't take it so hard.
It gives the whole group grace, you know,
Yeah.
like that you, instead of taking it personal, instead of taking it to heart, it's just like, oh, okay. They're just being in their unconscious self in a sense.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love the family dynamic sessions. I love sitting down, especially with parents, and just showing them, like, you know, the kids and them and how they all mesh together. And because I just think it creates so much more unity when you can understand each individual design, each individual person, and how they're designed to operate. When you know that, you know what I mean? It just, I don't know, it's just beautiful.
Well, I had my own realization on that. So again, I'm a generator, and somebody that's in my life is a manifesting generator, and it has the emotional response. And I ask spirit, and my kids have it as well, but I ask spirit just to kind of show me that emotional piece, because I just have the sacral, and I'm really tapping into that, and I get that, and I understand my sacral, and it's conscious and unconscious, a big part of it. So anyway, I asked, and there was a decision that we needed to make, and I asked, and the initial was no. And this person, I would say, is probably is very unconscious in this design work, right? So it was a no, but then it was a no, and then, well, give me a minute, give me some time to think through it, right?
Yeah.
And then the next day, I brought it back up, and so we had to start making a decision, and it was like, well, I didn't get a chance to think about it. So if you want my answer now, it's a no. And I was like, okay. He's like, but I want to think about it a little bit more. And then it was really cool because then the decision ended up being, it's, from my perspective, it still isn't no, but I trust you, I trust that. But it was that emotional piece, that waiting for that emotional piece that was like, oh my gosh, I get it. Because it's either a yes or no in the moment. And it can be a no. And then when it was a yes again, it was because that emotional clarity. It was so fascinating to watch. It was over a 3-day period.
Isn't it awesome? Isn't it
So
beautiful?
fascinating.
And how lucky you are to get that yes or no right there and then.
Yeah.
Try
Oh, yeah.
waiting 28 days.
Yeah. When Christine and I were actually talking about it, she's like, how does it feel to have the yes or no? And she's like, because she's a manifester, and she's like, as a manifester, I don't get that, right?
No, but she probably has that splenic, so she has that intuition that tells her right away. But unless she has an emotional authority, but
I'll have to look that up.
she probably has a splenic, so she has that intuition. That body tells her right away in the moment.
I would think that would be her.
She just
Yeah.
has to learn to pay attention to that.
Gotcha. Okay.
If you speak it, your body speaks it more right away. She feels it. She gets that intuition. She knows.
Okay. That's cool. Okay. I'll have to look at that. Dive in a little
She
bit
just
more.
has to find out where she feels it in her body. That's all.
Okay. That's good advice. Yeah. So
Yeah.
for those that are new to human design, Celeste does amazing readings on it. Family dynamics is really cool because it's that interaction piece and how you can relate. But human design and me leading into gene keys, like it's just such a phenomenal tool of acceptance. It's really permission to be yourself. And there's so many rabbit holes we like, yeah.
I know. When I tell people, when somebody tells me such and such made you be angry or such and such, and I'm like, well, that's a choice. And if you're angry, you're probably not living your authentic self. It's not about the other person. It's really, you know what I mean? When I'm disappointed, because that's mine as a reflector, and when I'm disappointed, there might be a situation that involves another person, but it's not them. I'm disappointed in myself because I did something that wasn't living my true design. I wasn't doing what was right for me and being my authentic self. So that's been when people are like, what? But they did so. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody else does. When we live true to ourselves, when we are our authentic selves and we live true to our designs and what's right for us, and we don't get that anger and frustration and disappointment and bitterness anymore. And it's beautiful. It is so beautiful.
No, that makes sense because mine's frustration, and when I'm not living true to myself, that's when I'm in that frustration and I feel it. And that moment of like, it's just that check, like, okay, I'm feeling something. Usually people describe it, and I remember one time you challenged, is it pressure or is it just emotion in a sense, and I don't remember what we were talking about, but it's just that double check, and it's like, oh, I am not in alignment right now.
And it's very easy to blame it on the world around us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very easy to do, but I promise you that's not the case.
Yeah.
I can help you flip pretty much any situation.
Oh yeah. Perspective. See, so if anybody has something they want to maybe get that different perspective flip, that's what we're here for. And again, the call-in number is on Facebook, Instagram. Just shoot your messages, notes in there. And a shout out if anybody knows technology and knows how we can stream easily. Instagram and
yeah, if anybody has this all down packed and wants to give us a tutorial, we would love to hear your input.
Yes.
I'll even give you a free human design reading.
There we go.
Help us figure this out.
Thank you. That's an exchange of value right there.
Any questions out there?
No, there's nothing on Facebook yet.
Oh, wow.
No. I don't know if you check your page, because I shared your page too, but I don't think I can see if there's any.
I don't see any comments on mine.
Okay.
I don't see any comments on mine.
Well, we're quiet. I know that.
All right, we can talk about the full moon this coming weekend a little bit. I don't have a ton, but I mean, it is a very special moon. It's a blue moon. And you know the saying, once in a blue moon, that's because it only comes around once in a while. Actually, this full moon falling on Halloween hasn't happened since 1944, I think.
Like it was like years and years, like decades.
It's been a long time. And being the blue moon, it's because there's two moons in 1 month, two full moons in 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it, they say it makes it just a little more intense in the energy that it's in. And this full moon is in Taurus. And the Taurus is a lot about the throat, of course, and communication. It's about bringing your thoughts to voice. It's about speaking them. So this is the energy this weekend is going to be a lot about looking at things that you've been trying to manifest in your life, you know, and seeing where they are and just speaking them and using your voice and being more clear. And what was the other energy about this moon? I'm trying to remember. Like I said, for some reason this one didn't like ping me. Like usually they like fire something in me and I don't know what it is. This one hasn't. I don't know why.
Maybe what's coming up for me is it's instead of what's the worrying or not, and I know it's not a worry for you, but instead of it's just go with it this week. Like just allow the energy to be what it is.
Absolutely. I mean, you know me, I always try to do that, you know.
Oh yeah.
But this moon is also like really big with your intuition, with like bringing your intuition and speaking it. So really being in tune with that spiritual side and getting downloads and speaking to spirit. So a lot of people might feel like their intuition is really high this weekend. Trust it, because the energy will allow it to do that. We'll bring that energy up. But hey, I'm just looking forward to a fun weekend because it's my birthday weekend.
Heck yeah. Birthday's on Friday, huh?
Friday, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to it no matter what.
There you go. That's always a good. We have a birthday on election day. My son's birthday's on election. So it's kind of snuck up on us. And we were just talking as a family that every one of us has celebrated our birthday in COVID era.
Yeah.
And that we did not think that by now we would be
still.
Yeah, because I was the first, like right as it hit. My birthday's March 19th, and had a party plan and had to cancel everything. That was like, I remember my son being like, "Well, it's gonna be gone by my birthday." Like,
guess again. Oh, they just wanted to make sure he didn't feel left out.
That's right. Yeah, all inclusive. Yeah, experience here.
Oh. So there.
So how have you had some more time for yourself? Because I know that was something with opening up your calendar and supporting.
I'm working on it. I just have to, I've already like kind of booked this month and next month. Yeah. So now I'm trying to be more cautious and conscientious of how I'm booking, just to make sure that I save some days for me. Absolutely. But I did leave this whole weekend open, which is nice.
Yeah.
So this weekend's open just for some fun.
Yeah. You have plans for this weekend?
I have a couple plans here and there, but I'm pretty much gonna just play it by ear and see what comes up and
good, you deserve it.
And have fun.
Yeah.
The whole weekend.
Good. The whole weekend, like.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I was not ready for this cold.
No, I wasn't either. But I saw a meme and I get reminded of this every year, that your attitude about the snow does not change that there is snow that comes.
No, so, but I don't have to like it.
No. Oh, I'm a cute girl, and I don't have to like it. That's right. But you know, in the moment of it, like my kids, of course, for snowfall, they gear up, go out, make a little snowman, and it was like this big. It was the cutest thing. They made Yeah, they made it, they didn't have anything, so they made his nose out of snow.
Oh,
And his nose stayed on as it was melting, like, so this little, like, snowman is shrinking up, but this nose that's made out of, it just was hilarious, because to see this little guy, I guess pictures would speak more, but they got out and
oh,
got involved, and then we're back up to the mid-50s today. And
oh.
so the weekend will be nice for your birthday. How about that?
Yes, I know. I was going to go back up on Friday, so I was happy.
Yeah.
All right. Since it's so quiet, let's pull some cards out. Who wants a card? I know
Yeah.
there's people out there listening. Who wants a card?
Who wants a card? I like this. You can ramble about
See who's
everything.
going to stick their hand up first, or say I do me, or
Like the post, you get a card. How about that? We'll make it easy on you. For those that are listening in. Look on my even. I always forget. I share it to my.
oh, that got people talking.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Okay.
You got some over on Instagram?
Yeah, we'll do Angelica first.
All right.
Oh. I feel like I need the other cards. These cards weren't for you, Angelica. I had to pick some different cards. I'm shuffling and I kept getting stop. And I'm like, okay, I stopped, but then the card didn't feel like the card for her. And they're like, no, not these cards.
I'll get some different ones.
Oh. And of course, I didn't wear my reading glasses. Oh, so I pulled my Kyle Gray Keepers of the Light cards, Angelica. And the card that I got for you was Lady Portia.
Mm-hmm.
And it says divine order. It says, do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. I know personally, because I know you, that you are searching for a new job right now. Just remember what your authority is. I think you're an emotional, but I'm not sure. Remember your human design. Remember to do whatever that unfolds. Don't listen so much to everybody else. It's always good to get other people's opinions, but I feel like in this case, the angels are trying to tell you you're going to know. You're going to know yourself what's right for you, and you don't have to let all the chatter in of everyone else. So if something feels good to you, then go with it. Know that your team is behind you and with you. I hope that fits.
Feels good.
Oh, Susan, I got romance for you. Romance. And my heart is a flutter.
I just got chills.
Right? I'm trying to ask right now to see if it's somebody she knows or somebody that's, no, I get the feeling it's somebody new that's walking onto your path. I hope, I'm always scared when I say these things because I never know if somebody's already in a relationship or not. But I get the feeling that somebody new is coming forth to walk on your path. So keep your heart open and be aware and see what comes up for you.
Well, I say,
Let me know.
Even if they're in a relationship with someone new, can be a new form or a new.
It can be. That person can choose to bring a new energy into the relationship.
Something, yeah.
Absolutely. But it feels, I'm getting this high school girly fluttery kind of feeling, you know what I mean? So it feels like it feels something like that. It feels very fresh and fun and flirty. FFF, fresh, fun, and flirty.
There's a new meme for conversations right there.
Right? I'm trying to read who else. I can't scroll. I'm not. Oh, Jennifer.
Oh, why am I keep getting chills. Something.
Jennifer. Are these the right cards?
I love that giggle.
I tried to pick a different pack of cards, but they want me to use the surrender cards. I'm laughing because Jennifer's one of my students. So I tried to pick a different deck because she picks from these cards all the time.
Nope.
That's, oh, and there it is right there. But that's where they're telling me to go. Surrender your attachment to results. Surrender your attachment to results. You know, sometimes when we want something to happen in our lives, we already put in play exactly how it's supposed to turn out and how it's supposed to be. And a lot of times when we do that, we miss the hidden gem. You know, you might go, somebody that doesn't know anything about beauty or not beauty, I shouldn't say that. Somebody that doesn't really know anything about pearls might go diving in the ocean and find these very ugly clams, not clams. Is that what they come in? Clams? Or oysters. Might find these oysters and think, oh, that's nothing. But little do they know, you know, that's not what I wanted. I was searching for a hidden treasure. And little do they know that if they just take the time to open that up, there's this beautiful, wonderful, milky pearl inside that is their hidden gem. So if we can trust the universe and go with the flow and just allow things to unfold the way they're supposed to and not be attached to the way we think it should happen, then we'll find that gem and we'll see that it's exactly the way it's supposed to be.
So my theme for Imagine came in yesterday, and it's Season of Surrender for November.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. There's another one on here. I apologize. I'm not recognizing the name. I think it's Aaron. By the first. Nope, that's not what I want. It's so funny how the cards feel weird when you're not picking up the right pile.
Oh, I love it.
It's so interesting. So I believe it's Aaron. I'm sorry if I am incorrect, but this one is for you. Whoop. Oh, I got phases and cycles for you. Phases and cycles. So when this card comes up, of course, right away, it makes me feel like you're moving in it. Sorry?
No.
Oh, I thought you were saying something. It makes me feel like you're the flow of moving in and out of something. But for some reason, when I said phases and cycles, I got a road. I got a fork in the road, which for me is two paths that I'm trying to choose between. So I don't know if there's something that you are trying to decide between right now. But I keep getting the grass isn't always greener. So sometimes when we're trying to make those decisions, we think that, you know, we can have something better in another direction. But I think the angels are asking you to just hold on for a second and really look at your situation, where you're at right now, and see if it's really, really not what you want, or if you can, there's something that you can do to look at your situation from a different perspective. Just bring a different perspective from it and tweak it a little bit to see if it can be exactly what you want it to be. I hope that makes sense, because it doesn't make sense to me.
Even better.
Spoke what they're showing me. And it's hard because without interaction from the other person, it's hard to like pull more and go further and know why they're, you know what I mean? Why they're showing what they're showing me.
Yeah, you're just totally just trusting, tapping in.
Oh, but it's interesting. Well, I guess it made sense because he said thank you. So
there you go. There you go.
Hopefully it made sense.
It's for them.
Yeah.
There on Facebook, I saw a couple people join in that we're just having some fun with some cards. So if you get this word out, excuse me. So if you like or comment and want a card, join in on the fun. If you like it, I'll throw your name out there and we'll pull a card for you.
Yeah, just let me know. And if you have a question, please feel free to type it and we will answer that for you also. Or you can call in.
Absolutely. We got still 20 minutes left for somebody to call in and chat with us.
I don't even know how it got to 12:40 already. I'm like, didn't we just start?
Every week, that's what happens.
So yeah, if there's anyone else that's just joined, we're just pulling a couple cards today, and unless somebody has a question, and if you'd like one, please feel free to type it in. If you'd like a card, just let me know and we'll pull a card for you. What is Halloween really about in the spiritual realm? Oh, that's a tough one. Only because I haven't really thought into it. There are a lot of different theories about Halloween and all this and that. I personally feel, and remember, I always tell you guys, you have to hear things and what feels right to you, hold on to, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. I personally feel that it has grown in, oh God, I don't even know. I don't know if I can answer this one. It's not often I get stumped, huh, Stephanie?
Yes.
I don't know if I can.
It's commercialized. That's what comes up.
It is so commercialized. I mean, if you think about it, Hallows Eve, it was started for religious reasons, I believe. And then as an All Saints Day, as a way to honor those that had passed away. It's a religious holiday. My mother goes to church every Halloween as a Catholic, but I'm not sure in the spiritual realm. I know it's a fun day. It's a fun day for everyone in the spiritual realm. You know what I mean? I think the energy seems a little more heightened because as people have passed on, Halloween has been known to be all about that, spooking. And so I think energies are stronger around Halloween because a lot of spirits come. But, I've been playing a lot lately with the fact a lot of people ask me about ghosts and ask me about spirits and what I think about them. And, I really firmly believe time is irrelevant. I am living here, I'm living in my past, and I'm living in my future all at the same time. I really, truly believe that. And if you think about it, why can't a spirit or a ghost be nothing more than someone from our past or someone from our future colliding with our timeline that we're on now? Why can't a spirit that I'm talking to possibly be someone from the future that's found a way to just come back and see me and talk to me? You know what I mean? Or me go back and talk to someone. Does that make sense?
It makes sense from here. My head is going, what, But no, I'm nodding my head because I agree with you. And
yeah. So I mean, it's just, it's like when you think about that whole thing where people say time is irrelevant, we're living in all the dimensions at the same time. It's just some energies have found a way to blend. Like when I astral travel, how do you know I'm not a ghost to somebody else that's living right now? Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So there's so many different ways to look at it that fascinate me. And me, I always go with the flow. If something feels right, I just feel into it and look into it a little more. And if 2 months from now that feeling changes, then I go off to the next road. And that's just the way it is. I like it that way.
Well, and I feel like just naturally we're summoning energy during this time, right? I mean, even walking into Halloween stores, my son, before he could even put words to it, you could tell that he was he felt the energies of those creations, the goblins and the ghosts, and so we're in a sense summoning these energies anyway. Of course they're gonna show up. Of course they're going to manifest in a way for us, for our logical human minds to accept it. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love Halloween. I know I've been a witch, a sage, all of these things in many past lives. So this has been my energy, my main focal. So, I mean, I love everything about Halloween. I was born October 30th. I love everything about Halloween. There is definitely some witch in me. So it's fun. I love all of that. But yeah, I just had somebody ask, how do you astro travel? I have a friend that is actually teaching a class on astro travel at Celine Healing Studios sometime coming up. I don't know exactly when, but you're welcome to go to that. There are some great meditations, guided meditations for astral travel on YouTube if you Google them. But I always try to tell people, when I was first learning, the technique that worked good for me when I was first trying to learn how to do it was, as you're in a meditative state, as you put yourself in a meditative state and you really completely relax your whole entire body, and you know that you're really nice and relaxed, start to, with just like your hand, start to like try to pull like your spirit up out of your hand, and start with just like your fingers or your hands. And then as you start to pull your spirit, your soul, your essence, whatever you want to call it, up, you can feel it come up from the rest of you. And then you can literally like feel yourself sit up and move. And then you can travel and go wherever you want. And the way to know, and when you start to do it, let me go back for a second. When you start to do it, a lot of times you'll start to like vibrate. A lot of people will begin to like really begin to vibrate, and that will like scare them and they'll stop. They're like, oh no, what's wrong? Don't be afraid of the vibration. Just keep going through it. Keep pulling yourself up. And then turn around. If you can turn around and see yourself laying on the bed, then you're astral traveling. If you can't, then you're just like meditating and guiding your mind somewhere. But that's the technique that worked best for me. And then I always tell people, like, go somewhere that you don't know that you can visit, like, you know what I mean? Like that you can go the next day and check, and then look at something, you know what I mean? Look at something and then go back and see if you really saw it, and then you'll know. But that's the technique that worked for me when I was trying.
That's cool. I'll check it out myself.
What are other things you can charge under the full moon besides crystals? I love moon water. Charging it, taking a mason jar or 2 or 3 or whatever you want and charging it under the full moon and then drinking it. I love charging full moon water. That is amazing. That's another great thing that you can charge. I only do crystals and water. I don't know if there's anything else that other people charge, but that's what I do. What?
Well,
yourself? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I definitely make sure I get out there when there's a full moon and charge myself and just breathe it all in. Especially being a reflector.
Yeah.
Take all that energy in. Oh, somebody else wants a car. Alyssa. Is that Alyssa? I believe so. Oh, what deck for Alyssa? Alyssa, you're getting surrender too. Stefanie. What do you have to say? I'm shuffling.
Oh, I just love surrender. It's just popping up a lot.
Well, it's a full moon coming up. And the full moons are about surrendering, letting that stuff go. So, okay, Alyssa. Alyssa, for you, I got surrender to receiving support and love. My 2 little polar bears. Surrender to receiving support and love. Whoo. You know, we tend to, it's very easy for many of us in this world to feel like we have to be okay. Many of us spend a lot of our lives trying to put on that facade that we have to be okay all the time, and we don't. So just know that you don't have to. And when we allow others to come in and to help us and to give us love and to give us support, there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make us weak. It doesn't make us weak at all. Most of us love to give it to others. Most of us love to give that love and support to other people because it makes us feel good. And I know for me personally, when I gave love and support to other people to a fault, then I could hide my own hurt. Then I didn't have to think about my own hurt and my own pain. But it's hard to be vulnerable. It's hard to be vulnerable and to let people in. And I'm just going to challenge you to let other people in. Let people show you that love and support that you give to others. Accept it.
The polar bears.
I love the little I don't like the cold, but I love polar bears.
Well, while we're at it, I'll take a card if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, you want a card?
Yes, please.
Stefanie want. Stefanie. You're getting Kyle Gray too.
Okay.
You're getting my Keepers of the Light.
I'll admit, when you said that, I was like, yep, I want one. Back when you said it in the beginning. Keepers of the Light, I like that.
Ooh. Ascension. Move into your true self. Move into your true self. Rise above the darkness. The light is always above and is here. Ascension. I don't feel darkness around you, so I have to feel into what that means. And right away, I feel like a big part of that is, I don't want to call it darkness, but the little bit inside of you that's holding yourself back. Allow yourself to release that. I don't think it's anything around you. I think you have so many wonderful things about to just completely blossom and explode. And there's just a little part of you that for whatever reason is holding it back a little bit and just doubting yourself.
Yeah, nailed it.
Don't.
Yeah.
Let it go. You got this.
Surrender's coming up for me because there is, like, I see it, I feel it, I know it, and I just get to surrender it because it's bigger than I can. It's not bigger. That's not the word I want to use. It's more possible than I can imagine. So I surrender, and it's the doubt. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yay. Wow. We're already at 12:50.
I know.
Do you have any questions? We're here every Wednesday at 12 Mountain Standard Time for Conversations with Clarity. I usually post on Instagram. I don't know why I didn't this week with the phone number. If you guys want to call in, it would be much easier to give you a message if I'm talking to you too, but you can also type it in. If you have any questions, things that you'd like discussed, you feel free to send either one of us a message and we'd be happy to talk about it next week or one of the upcoming weeks. We are here for you.
We're here for you. And it's coming up, like, nothing's off limits.
Nothing's off limits.
Even if you want to remain anonymous, but you have a question about something that you want just perspective on, and we will talk about everything and anything. In fact, I was telling Celeste before we hit the recording side of it is I'm going to create an event on our Facebook pages just to really, we've been doing this for months now, and set up something where we can have a question bank type thing where, it's super easy.
Yep. That's a good idea.
Yeah, super easy. You guys could just plop them in there, and we'll make sure if you are somebody that we know, we can obviously get the recording back to you. But yeah, so it's time. I mean, this has been fun, and it's been a divine as most things in our life, as all things in our life, not most, all. But now we can get some more structure around it, so you guys know when we're coming on and get it over. I'm still figuring out that I want to get this all on Instagram, because I know for me, I've said it many, many times. I can't
Yep.
get it off of Facebook, and
We said at the beginning, if anybody's like a techie and knows about all this stuff and how to stream and can give us a little tutorial, that, you know, please send us a message and let us know. And I'll even give you a free human design reading out of it. Ooh, I just hit my camera. Sorry, guys, on Instagram.
getting a little
Probably felt like there was an earthquake going on. Oh, but yeah, every Wednesday.
every Wednesday we're here for you. And if you have, you know, just share this, get this out there. Our whole intention, and I started this in the beginning for anybody that's joining in now, is to really, I was using the word normalize, and somebody made the word, use the word actualize, and I love that. So actualize these spiritual conversations. This is normal, and we need to have these conversations. We deserve to have these conversations, and you know, we don't want anybody to feel alone. And I really, really believe a lot of people are waking up and or not, and they don't know that they're waking up yet. It's just like, oh, there's something different. And I know that for me, that's how it was for me in the beginning. It's just something feels different. This normal like facade of a world and the experience, something's different. So if you're feeling those something is different and just not sure where to turn, both Celeste and I are here. There's things in the works to create a space to continue these conversations. There's things already in place. We have a group on Sunday that meets, and we just want to be able to have the space that everything and anything can be talked about. Nothing's taboo.
Absolutely. Because it's all about perspectives, and each and every one of us has our own.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mine right or better or wrong. It just makes it my perspective.
Well, imagine how different this, I'll just say it, this election would be if we actually allowed conversations to happen and just saw them as perspectives. And, you know, like, and that's what I imagine our world to continue to evolve into, is that everybody's coming from their own experiences, their own perspectives, but that also means everybody's coming from that. And so to just be able to conversate and talk about it. And
right? Can you imagine what the talk would have been if it would have been, well, my perspective on the pandemic and this whole coronavirus is this, and I feel like, instead of you should have done this and you should have done that.
yeah, absolutely. Even a presidential debate, could you imagine if they're up there talking, it's my perspective that this is the main issues that we need to work on.
Yep.
Instead of like slandering and name calling and what are you not doing? Like, no, what are you doing? Like, what, you know, what's your take on it all?
Yep.
So yeah. All right, well, I think we can wrap it up if anybody doesn't have any final words. And thanks for pulling the cards, Les. That was fun. Mix it up a little bit.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's such a pleasure when you're here. And hopefully we'll see you back next Wednesday for Conversations for Clarity. Have a fabulous week and enjoy this weekend.
Yes, yes, you too. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Well, there.